What's the difficulty of a side out of bounds play like you guys faced either?
I mean, you can't run. It's there's less. I mean, it's a little harder than the baseline just with the way the court is and the fact you can't run and you're stuck. But honestly, it shouldn't be that hard to get the ball in bounds. I mean, we've made things a lot more difficult than they need to be. You know, part of that I took ownership with it with the team. We've got so much that we changed and did that we haven't spent enough time on end of game situations. We're now forcing it sometimes, whether it's a player or a coach. You know, you miss big free throws late, all of a sudden you spend a lot more time shooting free throws. You screw up late game situations as a coach. You know, after the Penn State game, we have plays in now that we can run without call. Well, we hadn't really gone over inbounding the ball on the side on the other end, you know, without a timeout. It would have been helpful if we had one extra timeout. You burn it and then come back and make an adjustment. We didn't have that. You know, I talked to Kyra too about playing a little bit more aggressive. We want him to, anytime we're in a situation where they have to foul us, we'll take a layup. So, you know, if we can get the ball and run up the floor and get a layup, we'd rather do that than have to go to the free throw line. So that's a lot of that's on me. We got to do a better job in practicing that type of stuff.
Looking at Mississippi State on tape, you've got a whole month or so, no Weatherspoon, and then he's played the last 2 months. What does he do for you?
Yeah, really, you got to kind of throw out what they did before him because they're a completely different team with him. So, I mean, he gives them an experienced point guard. They play with a lot different pace. You know, he's attacking, coming downhill. They just, you know, before, and again, they've got good players that are coming off the bench now, and they did a decent job for him. They won a lot of games without him, but they're much better with him. So we've really focused more of our prep work on the last 3 when he's played. And I think, again, the more he plays, the more comfortable they'll get with him. So I think we'll probably see the best version of Mississippi State of the year. Just as you're putting guys back in, they get better significantly the more he plays.
The decision to start Smith, was that kind of an experience thing heading into SEC play? Or?
Yeah, he'd been playing well. I thought, you know, he had experience. I mean, it really came down to who we thought was going to guard Blackshear the best. We thought he would be the one that had the best chance to guard him well, and I thought he did guard him well when he was in. It's just him and JV got to stay in the game for, you know, they had 13 minutes and 16 minutes and fouled out, so they combined 29 minutes and 10 fouls. They got to do a better job staying in the game. We've told them that too. I mean, this is the #1 offensive rebounding team in the country in Mississippi State. If those two play combined 29 minutes, we're going to be in some serious problems. So they've got to learn how to play without foul, and hopefully they do a better job of that tomorrow night.
You're into SEC play now. What do you feel the leadership on this team is right now, especially on the court? You mentioned you talked to Kyra about being more aggressive. You feel like there's maybe a leadership gap right now, or?
Yeah, I think different guys. I mean, I don't think you just have to have one leader per se. Like Kyra, I mean, it's Kyra's team. He's a point guard. It's, you know, he's on the draft boards. He's, you know, we talk about that, but he's also quiet. You know, so maybe he's not going to be that rah-rah vocal guy. I think Petty, a lot more vocal, talks, and he's done a really good job being a good leader for us, playing hard on both ends, maybe our best two-way player. Then you got a guy like Herb who, you know, when the team voted in the offseason and when we came in here, that was the one everybody pointed to as being the leader. I mean, we had the guys vote who would your captains be, and every single guy, every single staff member votes for Herb. So you've got different guys that got different roles. I think it was hard for Herb when he was out injured. You know, he wasn't playing great. It's hard to really step up and talk a lot when you're not necessarily playing that well yourself. So he's back playing with a lot of confidence. We need him to lead. We need Petty to keep leading. We need Kyra to understand as the point guard, you know, one of the best players, if not the best player on a game-to-game basis. We need the point guard to be great every game and kind of take ownership of the team. So combination of all those guys. And Beatles our only senior, even though he hasn't been here. So talk to him about that too. Just, you've got experience. I mean, shoot, you've gone and played at Kansas for 3 years. You played at Iowa State. They've got great fans. You played at all these great places in the Big 12. Well, he needs to bring some leadership too. But kind of the same deal as Herb. When you're hurt, not playing well, it's hard to do that. Well, he's back healthy again now too. So I think our leadership's coming. I think it'll be there. I think our guys are in the right frame of mind, even though we're coming off a tough loss. I think we'll see some pretty good leadership here moving forward.
How valuable is it to have JQ running the scout teams and prepare for these high-level point guards?
Yeah, you guys were in here for a lot longer than normal today, so you kind of see what we've been seeing for a long time. I mean, there's days where he's the best player in practice. I mean, you know, even when he's not the best player in practice, he's right up there every day. Gives you a great look. Sometimes, you know, sometimes it's not the look of the team. I mean, you just go get a bucket when he needs to go get a bucket, where maybe the other team's point guard, more of a setup guy like Florida. Nimhard's not necessarily looking to go score, or on the scout team, Cornerly can go get a bucket, you know, a lot of times based on who else he's playing with. So, you know, he's playing great. Bodes well for us next year. Disappointed he's not out there with us this year. We'd have quite a few more wins, I think, but, you know, he's going to be an integral part of this program for 3 years moving forward. So I like where he's at. He's playing really hard, giving us a good look in practice.
How good was it?
Alex wasn't out there throwing up today, so I guess he's feeling better.
Yeah, it was kind of a one-day deal, I guess, and we can't catch a break. I mean, you know, Beetle had a one-day deal where he had to get IVs before our last home game. You know, Reese has a one-day deal. He came back in, got treatment, felt a lot better on Sunday. You know, we fought through some adversity. Hopefully it's making us a lot tougher, and we can still got a lot of the season left. Shoot, we're only one game into a 18-game season, so hopefully all the adversity we face with the injuries, with the, you know, sickness and whatever, it's making us a lot stronger, and we'll play a lot better for it.
How good was it to see Chris Stewart back on the mic in this last
Yeah, it
game?
was great. Shoot, we gave him a full 50 minutes. He had to go overtime and then again. So apparently, you know, I can't listen to it while I'm coaching the game, but apparently he did great. So it's great to see him. I remember seeing him in the hospital bed. Shoot, he didn't look great when we went to see him in the hospital bed up SEC media days, and you know, he told me that was his goal to get back by the first SEC game. He did it, so I think we gave him something to push for. He made it, so I was happy to see him. Our guys are happy to see him. I think Alabama Nation out there was happy to hear his voice. So hopefully we give him a 40-minute game instead of a 50-minute game. If we do got to go 50, though, hopefully the guys are ready to go.
How's it been getting to know Chris?
Great guy, really good guy. You know, he was around a lot. Still didn't do the radio show last night, so I guess he's not quite back full time. But I mean, he showed everybody around here. When I come in, you know, I didn't know very many people here when I got here, and everybody spoke highly of him, and you can see why he's so revered around here.
How challenging is this Mississippi State front court with the length that they have?
I mean, go look at their rebounding numbers. Last game they had, you know, 7 offensive rebounds, 6 offensive rebounds individually. There's some teams that don't get that many in games, so they, you know, against Auburn, they're just, Perry's skilled, and then they've got depth on the bench. They bring in guys. It's just, you know, it's mainly their offensive rebound, but they're also skilled. And Perry can go get a bucket, and he's showing that he can handle it on the perimeter. He can shoot threes. He can take you off the dribble. He's averaging 3 assists a game, so he's skilled. You can see why, you know, NBA teams are excited about him. But, you know, a dude can go get offensive rebounds and gives you a lot of length in there on the defensive end. So, you know, they're a team that, you know, we like to play small a lot. We're gonna have to see if we can. Auburn plays small, and they manage to do it. They're obviously pretty tough. We're gonna have to bring some toughness to the game. Whether we're playing big or small, we're gonna have to bring toughness to the game.
You're obviously into the numbers behind things and analytics of things. What do your numbers tell you when rebounding? It seems you kind of had a tough time this last game. Florida out rebounded you, and in games that you have struggled, it seems like the rebounding is a big key.
Yeah, and I mean, playing smaller, it is a little bit. I think more of it, though. I mean, if you go look at the rebounding last game, we were fine through 20 minutes. We were actually pretty good through, you know, even a lot of the game. Now, when we get to the 2 overtimes, they end up getting 67% of their offensive rebounds. Now, we got G and JD sitting on the bench with 5 fouls each, so, you know, we're playing her, and Reese is throwing up and can't play, so now you're playing Herb, who's a natural 3 at the 5. You know, that was a problem. I don't know what the rebounding numbers were off the top of my head at the end of 40 minutes. They weren't nearly as bad as they were at the end of the 50 minutes. And at the end of the half, the first half, we were up significantly. So I think when we're fresh and we've got everybody capable to play, we're all right, minus the North Carolina game. That was a disaster. Okay, I think after that, we've kind of got it fixed to a point where we can win games, you with us not playing two bigs large stretches of the game, you're not ever going to destroy a team on the glass, but I think you can rebound with him, especially, if Herb's at your 3 or your 4. He's a tough rebounder, and Petty's our leading rebounder, so he's in there getting rebounds. So I think we can rebound with teams, but we can't afford to have G and JD on the bench with as much foul trouble as they've been in for us to rebound the ball, and we have to do it for 40. Even the Florida game, we come, we're up 21, they cut it to 14 at the half. We come out of the second half, well, the first 3 they hit was off an offensive rebound. So our guards got to do a better job chasing down long rebounds too. It's not always on our bigs either. So.